Welcome. We are now in section B in paper 2 from MRSM, and this is question 6. Is asking you to show the adaptations of this plant, which is an aquatic plant, how it achieved support in its habitat, and there is 4 marks for this. So basically there are 4 important points regarding the adaptations that you need to remember. So first of all, it has to do with the leaves. Second, the stem. Third, air sacs. And fourth, woody tissue. So number 1, aquatic plants, they have thin and narrow leaves, and this would help them to have less water resistance towards the water flow. Number 2, all the stems are soft and thin, and therefore is kind of flexible and is able to bend with the water flow, and this will minimize any kind of injury to the plant. Number 3, this plant has air sacs within the leaves, and this will help to keep them afloat, and with that they should be able to achieve maximum sunlight. And the 4th one, all aquatic plants usually do not have woody tissue on their stem, and this is again to minimize any kind of injury or damage that is incurred by the water current or the water flow. So remember, these are the 4 points that you are required to state for the adaptation of a plant that is living in an aquatic habitat. The second question here shows a grasshopper with its antagonistic muscles of the rear leg. So you are required to explain what is the effect on the movement of this grasshopper if the extensor muscle is tear off. So this is the extensor muscle here, and this is the flexor muscle. So basically you can imagine if this muscle here is damaged, so the grasshopper will not be able to contract the rear leg here, and because it cannot contract and also it cannot be straightened, the grasshopper would not be able to jump. So how do we explain this, and how do we put them in 6 points for the 6 marks that is allocated? So first, the most obvious one is the grasshopper cannot jump forward, so you have to state this as a first point. Secondly, why is that so? Because the extensor muscle and the flexor muscle, they are all both attached to the exoskeleton, or to the leg of the grasshopper. And following that, another reason is that the extensor muscle, which straighten a joint, which is here, it can no longer contract. And what is the implication of that? That you cannot contract, the grasshopper is unable to contract the muscles and the leg. So first thing is that the hind leg, which is this one here, can no longer be straightened. Second implication is that the hind leg cannot jerk backwards anymore, and because of that there will be no upward thrust. And finally, this leg can no longer be pulled into the Z shape, like this one here. So because of this, the grasshopper is unable to jump forward. So this will be the 6 points that you can present. Once again, try to think in a logical manner and present the answer in a logical way. It's always step by step. So first, start with what is obvious, and then ask yourself why, 1 or 2 reasons for that, and then put in a few implications of what happens. So this is how you answer this question. C, here they are showing 3 health problems that are related to musculoskeletal system. So here they show you the picture of a normal system and also an impaired system. So from these pictures you should be able to tell what are the 3. So here they are showing bone tissues, joint and muscle. So these are already key points or keywords that will tell you what disease you are, or what are the disease they are referring to. So if you see bone tissues, and then you see here they are big pores here, this would tell you immediately this is a case of osteoporosis. If you always see a joint and is inflamed, this would be arthritis. And if let's say they show muscles, although these two are more or less similar, you can notice that there are much smaller muscle here compared to this one. So this would tell you this is muscular dystrophy. And moreover, these are the only three musculoskeletal disease that are presented in the SPM syllabus. So you should be able to explain the three of them. So here you are required to state the health problems and also to suggest ways to overcome it. And here you are allocated 10 marks for that. So each of them should have at least 3 to 4 points. So let's just look at how we can answer this. So the first one is you need to state it. So osteoporosis is a bone disorder. Number 2, state what you can see or what seems to be obvious from the diagram. So this would be the bones become porous. You can see that there are large black pores. The third one is you can say what are the causes of this osteoporosis. So this is usually due to insufficient dietary intake of calcium and phosphate minerals. And what will be the solution? One way is to take foods that are rich in calcium and phosphate, or even supplements, and also to do regular exercise. And as for the second one, it is arthritis. It is inflammation of the joints. And again, state what is obvious, what you can see. What you can see in the diagram is that the joints become swollen, and of course it's also painful. What causes that? Usually is due to aging and also wear and tear of the cartilage. And the solution is to take painkillers to help to reduce the pain. And the last one is muscular dystrophy, and it is a kind of progressive degeneration of the skeletal muscle. What is obvious, you can see that the muscle becomes smaller, weak, and eventually the person will not be able to move. And what is the cause? This is because of a gene mutation that occurs in the X chromosome. And the solution is, so far, there is actually no cure. However, steroid injections and physiotherapy can be performed to strengthen the muscles. So this seems to be quite important. So try to remember these three conditions. What is the condition? What is obvious about the condition? What causes this? And what will be the solution? So with this, you should be able to score the marks that is allocated for this question.